Welcome, Libra. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do a reading for you. This is a timeless reading. It may not resonate for all of you. I trust that you will take what does. So let's get started with the Crystal Spirit Oracle. You've pulled lapis lazuli, beautiful lapis lazuli, a strong high priestess vibes here. This is about enlightenment. This is about awakened spirituality. It's about your intuitive place of wisdom and access to that through your meditation. You're tapping into the wisdom that you can share with others, the guidance that you and others need to achieve what you need rather than what you want. So this feels like it's a big support to your purpose and your humanitarian goals, the way you are giving back to the community. And this community is self-defined according to your terms. But there is this way in which you are making your wisdom available to yourself and to others. You're a way shower here. This is about some deep reflection of our collective potential. And in the soul's journey, abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. This is also bearing upon the well of wisdom that you're accessing right now. This is coming from many lives, many experiences, and perhaps not just your own lives. This is absolutely talking to me about lifetimes of wisdom that you have chosen to bring into this life. But it's also the wisdom of your ancestors, your spirit team, however you define that, the universal consciousness, God, Goddess. That is part of the wisdom that you're able to access now. So it is beyond your personal experience. This is tapping into the larger collective super consciousness, higher consciousness. And this is providing the collective with guidance, the collective with this sense of greater potential, that we can do more to manage our own well-being, our realities, creating the realities that will be supportive of humankind. In the present, you have the Five of Cups, talking very much about this reflective quality that you've turned your attention to for a while. This is that healing ability to recognize the lessons and patterns of behavior that you recognize are no longer serving you. And these are patterns that have been shared with other loved ones in many cases, with former partners, ways that you chose relationships or opportunities based on a pattern of overgiving, of being the savior or being rescued by another, disempowering your own sense of love, possibility, potential unwittingly. This is not something you set out to do. This is something you believed would be reciprocal and loving and supportive and growing. But based on your choices, in many cases, you were making choices understanding what the outcome would be. And it wasn't the outcome that you had hoped for. But you have recognized that as those experiences are being gleaned from, learned, sifted, and sorted, that the relationship with self is the opportunity that you desire. The investing in your own potential as an individual is what is leading you to the path of universal potential, collective potential, and the ability to choose things based on a deeper connection that you allow to evolve and grow in conversation with others or an opportunity. So this is something that evolves, it develops, and you choose its development. You and others or another choose this development, this commitment to working together on behalf of something higher than yourselves. But this has been a journey, and you're still grieving. You're still experiencing the loss, even the loss of an old version of yourself that you know is not who you are, who you want to be anymore. You're still losing something that had become familiar, that had become comfortable, even in the disappointment, even in the sadness, even in the pain. So we need to make space for that in order to truly cleanse, to truly clarify and purify our own vision of what's possible, our own investment in our own potential. In the past, the Warrior of Cups. This is interesting. So this is about your healing powers, the healing powers that awakened in you in the past. This is someone who I'm speaking to that is highly creative, that uses your hands as a tool of healing. And of course, it seems kind of like obvious, right? Our words, our hands, our physical health are all tools, but for this collective in particular, the way you use your hands, so you may be a crafter, an artisan, an artist, you use your hands in a way that speaks for you, that heals for you. You're creating things, you're imagining an inner vision of wellness, of emotional contentment, fulfillment, something that you offer others with the full knowledge that this is part of your healing as well. So this is a beautiful energy of having identified some particular power that is accessing that potential that you see available to you, not only in your own experience, but in the experience of your community, something that you're developing, a practice, a business, an opportunity of some sort that you are developing, that you are evolving, that you are now emotionally invested in, spiritually invested in. And in the future, the Sun card. Wow. This feels so incredibly powerful because lapis lazuli has with the energy of the high priestess that I'm picking up, this is hidden, this is silent, this is not what you are sharing out front and out loud in the public. Even if this is the source of the wisdom that you share with others, the source of the guidance that you give, your source is protected. The sun is a very different energy. The sun is about showing up in your innocence, your liberation, your divine self, your trusting self, your joyful self. And in that way, this is telling me that you're leading something. You're leading from a place of growth, of innocence, of faith in yourself, of trusting in the universe just as a child trusts in the world. As one explores opportunities, there is a deep faith that this is abundance for my own enjoyment, for my own prosperity, my own productivity, for something that I'm creating with others, a reminder of the privilege we have in being here. having the opportunities we have, creating the community we want to have, beautiful energy, being exactly who you are, not second guessing that. Understanding that you came here to be reborn in the sense of awe, wonderment, and amplifying that. And you've been working at this fairly for a while now. This is part of a plan. It isn't necessarily like a plan, blueprint kind of plan. This is an inner plan, an inner proposal, part of your evolution. It's probably a better word. So Libra, if this is resonating for you, please like this video. Share this video with others who may enjoy it. I appreciate if this resonates with you, that you share it if you feel inclined to, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. So the Warrior of Cups is clarified by the 9 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. The 5 of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles and the Justice card. And the Sun is clarified by the Moon card and the 10 of Swords. There's so much collective release going on right now. I'm really feeling it. So let's look at the past. This opportunity, this recognition that you have a potential in your hands, you have healing ability. And this is not only contributing to the healing of others, but you're well aware that every healing is a healing for self. With the 9 of Swords and the 4 of Swords here, this is that powerful release of suffering, even of oppression. This gives me the sense of some kind of social release, social liberation, relieving yourself from institutions, structures, norms that no longer resonate with you or with the world that you would like to contribute to, the world that you feel that you are a part, an active part of creating. So this is really about releasing the sense of sorrow, not the sense of struggle and difficulty, crises that exist. Those are learning opportunities. But this is something you're not responsible for. You didn't make the world that you were born into, but you are in a position to recognize that it no longer serves you and that you can be responsible for healing that experience. And yes, this is a work in progress. This continues to be, excuse me, a work in progress. And I think this is so personal right now, not just to me, but to the collective, this ongoing recognition and acceptance of the difficulties you've had to overcome, the difficulties that felt overwhelming, unfair, unproductive, punishing, and this realization that actually there was a lesson, there were gifts in these difficulties, and mining these gifts, recognizing that you're better for your ability to overcome these difficulties is part of your spiritual foundation. It's part of the social foundation that you are creating as a part of accessing this collective potential. And this is something you draw all of your community into as you do go about some kind of powerful healing work that is available to you now, that you have been building towards. But this is the reset that you've needed, and the ongoing consideration of what tools you're using, the truth that you are accessing and unveiling for others. In the present, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Justice clarifying the 5 of Cups. Well, hallelujah, because this 5 is telling me that your emotional environment your emotional capacity, your ability to grow, to shift out of a place of suffering and sadness, grieving, loss, is a choice you're making, a choice you're making to be balanced. Isn't it lovely how similar these two cards look? You're all about making something work. You know how to make something work. It appears to me that you are the driving force behind an organization, a project. You may not be the person, you may not be out in front, but you are the one who makes everything work. You're sorting everything, you're delegating responsibilities, you're taking responsibility for the profit, the potential, the harvest, that you know how to amplify, you know how to grow this. You are about the security, the safety, the stability that you provide through a process, a business, a project that you're involved in. And you're absolutely have a sense of social justice, equity, inclusion in mind. This is about the fairness, the balance that you've achieved within, and the recognition of opportunities now that you are free of the sense of being a victim, having to suffer through things that were imposed upon you, and the opportunities now that you experience through the knowledge that you do have power. You can speak back. You can resist. And that resistance is more than just saying no. It's about creating a yes. And it's a yes for many people, a community of people. And in the future, the Sun card is clarified by the Moon and the Ten of Swords. Wow. The Sun and the Moon together is already pretty powerful, but this 10 is all about the release of this oppression. This is, for me, in this context, about the release from institutional oppression, social norms, regularities that we believed were for the benefit of order, safety, and we now recognize that those norms, those rules, those outside authorities, the expectation of others do not promote our well-being. They do not promote the well-being of the collective, but you are thoroughly comfortable. This is really beautiful in terms of lapis lazuli. You access, you confront, you face your fears. And again, this is not comfortable, but it is familiar to you because you're courageous. You're the Queen of Pentacles. You're the Justice card. You wield the sword of justice. But you can only do that when you've reflected upon those fears that are challenging you, that you want to avoid or look away from. Instead, you dive in. You do the work. You recognize not only the potential lessons and opportunities of that experience, but the support that you have in the world beyond. This is about knowledge beyond our individual personal experience. This is about wisdom that you're able to access through the ages, if that's through your ancestors or guides, your god, goddess, however you define that conscious awareness. This is your absolute clarity in seeing through your fears, recognizing that you are not alone, we are not alone, and that you're working in concert with those spiritual energies to verify, to fortify, that's the word, the anxieties that you are healing. People are coming to you with real need for relief. and you know the pathway to that potential, that healing path. I'm going to finish your reading, Libra, with a flower oracle. And I pulled the tuberose, and the key word is desire. Be certain of where you place your passion. Very interesting. Yeah, I would say the moon, lapis lazuli, and the sun speaks about a lot of passion, as does justice. So you want to make the world a more inclusive, equitable place. You want everyone to have access to the resources that are available to them. Thank you so much, Libra. Until next time, namaste.